Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Take number 2. I had a really good one going, and then I forgot to unplug the phone, and the phone rang. Well, I'm not trying to be a professional production here, but that is kind of irritating. And so instead of hitting the pause button, I hit the stop button, and so now I'm starting over. Hope I can replicate some of what I actually was trying to say before. But I do thank you for listening. It's a wonderful day. It really is. And I have a wonderful passage to share with you. It's from the book of Hosea, chapter 10, and it's verse 12. And here's what it says: Plant the good seeds of righteousness, and you will harvest a crop of love. Plow for the hard ground of your hearts, for now is the time to seek the Lord, that he may come and shower righteousness upon you. This passage talks about planting and sowing. A couple of places in the New Testament where it says you reap what you sow. My mom used to say, whatever goes around comes around. And she was pretty stern about it. She didn't really mean that in a good way. And perhaps you've heard of that. Some people even call it karma. I don't know what you call it. I call it the farmers around us, most of them Amish, are getting their fields ready. They're out there plowing the ground and putting fertilizer on the ground. Now, the Amish around here tend to use that, shall we say, liquid natural fertilizer. And when they do a whole field, it has this incredible aroma that's very, very distinctive. My wife says it's horrible, but it doesn't bother me. Maybe it's because I was a farmer one time. But you see, they know if they want to harvest, they got to prepare the ground. They're not going to get a good one if they just ignore the preparation time. And this passage is talking about that for you and me. You know, we only get 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 years. And that might seem like a long time if you're 20, but pretty soon it won't seem so long. And compared to the thousands and thousands and thousands of years of life on this earth, that's not very much. But you only get one chance to plant this crop. The crop is, what are you and who are you? It says here to plant the good seed of righteousness. What does that mean? Well, it means to plant a life that's based on the goodness of God. Wherever you are, to plant those seeds to your neighbors, your family members who are really hard to live with, your spouse, your children. Plant it with the people you meet, even those disgusting robocalls that you get. And particularly to those people that when you're driving, cut you off. Boy, that's a good time to practice righteousness. But it says here to plant the seeds. Why? So you can reap a harvest of love. Now, I got to tell you, that's the best harvest you can get as a person. I can't tell you, I've done it all my life, and I'm doing it 100% of the time now, but I sure want to. I want to be known as someone who was loving and gracious. I hope you do too. It goes on to say here, it says, plow up the hard ground of your hearts. Sometimes our hearts get hard. Sometimes they get hard even when we don't want them to. Lots of things happen in life that can change your perspective. A lot of personal sadness, a lot of disappointments, a lot of injuries. And it can change you into somebody that God doesn't want you to be. But only you can make sure that doesn't happen. So, we got a hard ground. It means you got to work at it. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. I had a garden one time when I had my farm, and the ground was so hard, almost just clay. And so I kept dumping my horse manure into it, and I'd plow it up and I'd dump some more, and I'd plow it up and I'd dump some more. And finally, after a couple of years, that ground got so productive. In fact, in the midst of the summer, when it got really hot and no rain, you could go out there and dig a hole with a spoon. It was so rich of organic matter, and boy, did it produce. And maybe some of y'all are trying to get your garden ready. Uh, it's a good thing to do nowadays. But it's plow up the hard ground. For now is the time to seek the Lord. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. In fact, it doesn't say this, but I have a piece of advice. Yesterday was a better time to start. But if you missed that one, okay, I'll let you miss that one. Let's start today. And what is it you're trying to do? You're trying to plant the seeds of righteousness so that God will shower you with righteousness. You see, our righteousness goes out to others. And then in return, it comes back to us. I don't really know how that works. And it doesn't matter whether I know how it works. What matters is it works. And that's the way God wants us to live. And that's the way you can live. I know some of y'all have had a lot of disappointments, a lot of hurts, a lot of things that just weren't right happen to you. And I can't tell you that you should forget them and just pretend they didn't happen. You're not going to be able to do that. That's not going to be the case. But you can overcome that if you want to. But you have to work on plowing that ground of our hard hearts. That's not an easy task. It's not for someone who's wimpy and got nothing better to do. But the reward is outstanding. The reward is far greater than anything you've ever imagined. You see, God wants to live in us while we're here on this earth. He wants to use us. That's you, that's me, and that's everybody else. He wants us to be his hands, his words, his presence of him to everyone that we meet each and every day. That's the goal. And you can make it. You can be that person. So I hope today you'll try it. Give it a good try. And tomorrow and the next day. And pretty soon you'll find out that that hard heart ground is getting softer and softer and softer. Well, thanks for listening today. I hope you have a great day. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. If you have a prayer concern or a need, let us know. We'll do everything we can as fast as we can to help meet that need. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.